most human beings are trying to become a person. Because they want to become a person, they're looking for somebody, an ideal person. I think in Mumbai, people look up to people like you and your clan, not with any this thing, because that is the culture. Somewhere else they would look up to something else. I'm saying in each place, whatever they think is success, whatever they think is the so-called ideal thing, everybody tries to aspire and try to build themselves in that direction. Now, or in other words, they have a role model.
Yes, yes.
Everywhere I go, this is a question because probably they find me too freakish and they ask, who is your role model? I said, I don't roll with the models. This is a big mistake everybody is making. This is… you do not understand that you do not respect the work of creation, first of all. If you respect and value the work of creation, you would see what is this life longing for? What is its fundamental aspiration? Its aspiration is not to become a guru or an actor or something else. No. This life is longing to become full-fledged life, that's all. An earthworm is longing to become a full-fledged earthworm. A grasshopper wants to become a full-fledged grasshopper. A mango tree wants to become a full-fledged mango tree. A human being wants to become a full-fledged human being, and that's all the longing is. Only problem with the human being is, as I said earlier, for everybody there are two lines, easy definition of what a grasshopper is. But because there is no top line, you cannot define what is an ideal human being.
Yes.
There is no such thing.
Yes.
So, when you try to define an ideal human being, what you're actually attempting is, you want to go back in the evolutionary scale, you want to become a monkey. Monkey means imitation. Imitation means you fix a role model.
But on the other hand, you do need inspiration, so you start moving towards something that inspires you, and then you evolve and become… you can't possibly be that person, but you will become yourself, but following that somewhere. Or let me ask you something else, so where does all this profound knowledge come from?
What's so profound about this?
Well, it seems to me to be very profound.
No, I'm asking what profound things did I say till now? I'm saying simple sense. Just because you rarely encounter sense on this planet these days, it's looking profound, unfortunately. Tell me what profound things did I say till now? I haven't. I will after some time, but right now I haven't.
Well, even something simple as what you started with saying, that looking at water, I mean, straight away I was taught water, H2O, and what it can do, and you can mix it with colors and it becomes that, you can drink it and it quenches your thirst, but I never looked at it and said, I don't really know what is water.
Because nobody looks at anything. See, everybody is looking like this. Nobody has any attention for a piece of life here. They're like this. If you pay attention to one life, one blade of grass, one grasshopper, one human being, something else will happen. That's why we said life and love, because if you pay attention to one human being, some love will happen within you, okay? If you miss life, at least some emotion in that direction must happen to you. That will happen only if you pay attention to one. If you're looking at like this, these days it's become a fashion because you're in love on Facebook. You love the whole humanity. To love one human being, if you want to love one human being, it costs life. To love the whole humanity doesn't cost anything. It's even better to love God, because it's always easy to love somebody who's not here now. It's so easy. But if you have to love somebody who's sitting next to you right now, it costs life. You know how difficult it is to love someone who's next to you right now? How easy it is to love someone who is dead or who is in heaven? Isn't it so? Let's face it. Because if you have to love one thing is you have to pay attention. Without attention, it will not happen. And above all, you have to give up something that is you to accommodate another, otherwise it will not happen. The English expression is very good. You must fall in love. You cannot rise in love, you cannot stand in love, you cannot fly in love, you have to fall. Something of you should fall, otherwise it will not work. You will not know it. So, you want to have a fake sense of life, then you don't pay attention to anything. Everything is information, nothing is a living experience. Everything is from the textbook or from the cinema or from the internet. Nothing is from life's experience. We're doing more and more today of that.
Sadhguruji, you just mentioned love, and today it is about life and love, and I would like to know, have you loved?
Do I look like someone who's not loved? What are you asking? What is this, she's asking? Do I look like someone who's never loved in my life? What is this?
No, but like, so for us it is maybe love your family members, whoever it could be. Why I ask you this is because there's so many versions of this, and I really want to get to it. Some teachers, some gurus, some guides will say, you know, you can love, but you must be detached.
Oh.
You must love, but it cannot be conditional. It should be unconditional. And so there's versions of it. I just want to know.
See,
So,
the simple way of make you keep coming back to me is to give you something that you cannot do. To give you a teaching which you can never do. You must love, but you must be detached. Now you have to keep coming back to me for consultation, endlessly. I'm saying throw yourself into your love affair and die into it, something will happen. Something worthwhile will happen if you're willing to die into the process. Not just anything, whether it's your work or… The thing is, you want to include something which is not a part of you as yourself, that is the whole effort. Whether you want money or wealth or you want to occupy a nation, what is it? Something that is not you, you want to make it yours. Yours is an effort to make it a part of yourself. If it happens emotionally, on the emotional level, if you try this, we call this a love affair. You're trying to make somebody who is not a part of you, a part of yourself, emotionally. This is a love affair. If you do it consciously, we call this yoga. Yoga means union. So all these efforts are fine, everything has its own beauty but has its own limitations. When you understand the limitations of all the other methods, nothing right or wrong about it, it is just that it will work briefly, it will not work for always. When you realize that, you consciously try to include. When you consciously become an inclusive process, if you sit here, if you experience everything as yourself, then we say you're a yogi, okay? So this is a love affair successful.
to something you said at the end, which I would like to ask you again. And this was something, yes, I heard even at the inner engineering program. I understood it a little bit, so I'm back for consultation. You said love, inclusiveness. I can't understand how I can love everybody in this room.
You cannot. There's some people you cannot love.
I can barely see up there and up there. So how is that? How do you include everybody in your love?
See, because you are looking at love as something that comes to you, or you yield to the process of love only because you appreciate a particular quality, a shape of somebody's nose, or the shape of their mind, or their thought, or their emotion, or the way they speak, or the way they do things, or the way they relate to you, something, okay? There are many, many things. It is based on something that is acceptable to you. If they do something that is not acceptable to you, love crumbles.
Yes.
Now what I'm saying is, I want you to look at this. Whether love happens to you, or hate happens to you, anger happens to you, misery happens to you, joy happens to you, it only happens within you, isn't it?
Yes.
It never… People say love is in the air. No. Because you are feeling very pleasant in your emotions, suddenly air feels vibrant. It always been, you missed it all your life, now you're beginning to feel it.
Okay.
All right? So, whatever human experience, love or hate, whatever, happens only within you. What I'm saying is, at least what happens within you must happen by your choice. Consciously you must be able to make it happen. If you are able to, if your experience or what is happening within you is happening by choice, what is the problem? It only happens within you. Love is not a relationship. A relationship is a different thing. Love is a certain sweetness of your emotion. Whether you look at a tree, or a dog, or a man, or a woman, or a child, or just at the sky, why can't you look at it lovingly? Because it's not about loving the sky, it's about the sweetness of your emotion. If your emotions are sweet, whatever you look at it in a certain way. Right now you have nasty emotions, whatever you look at it in a different way. So you have always associated love with somebody. No, this is not about somebody. Love is not something that you do, it is something that you can become. If you're willing, you can become love, you can make your emotion into a very sweet space. If you make your body very pleasant, it becomes pleasure. If you sit here, it can be great pleasure, just sitting here and breathing. This is what we're teaching people. You sit, I will show you millions of people, if they close their eyes, tears of ecstasy will just drip. Nothing, simply close your eyes. Ecstatic they are, bursting every cell in their body. Because body has become so